Aquarius, welcome to your Intimate Tarot reading. For those of you who are new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read Intimate Tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up, if you're that person who is sensitive around the topics of intimate energies, sexual energies, or descriptions thereof, feel free to pass this message type up. It's not for you, no offense taken. I don't want you to watch anything that comes into conflict with who you are or what you're about because you will literally take nothing from it. So what's the point of that, okay? All tarot, like all YouTube, is at will, free will. You don't have to watch, more so if you know it's going to upset you. Again, what's the point? Myself personally understand sexual energy comes into play as who we are as individuals, like all energies do. Thus, it stands to reason it can affect us at the individual level, never mind what it's bringing to the table in terms of relationships. And I operate from the philosophy of the more you know, you know? Any other questions? Please refer to the description box. As always, take what resonates, leave it as not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. There you go. Just a moment to thank everyone who donated over the holidays around Thanksgiving to Christmas for a channel my size. You know, it was quite the donation season. Thank you all so much. As you can see, I was able to make some really excellent upgrades. So I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much who donated this year. Again, for a channel my size, that was pretty darn amazing, you know. And speaking of upgrades, please feel free to tune in to the January mid-month, and we're going to talk about overall channel upgrades and changes and things that I'm looking forward to, and I hope you are too. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start with an oracle card for you. What's going on, please, for that Aquarian sexual energy? Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. I do have to remind myself constantly to speak forward into the mic. That's something I'm not used to doing. It has to be right up. That's what she said. So it's something I have to get used to. I had to, on playback for the fire signs, I was like, Christina, you have to stay right there. But other than that, it's been a great experience. What's going on, please, for that Aquarian sexual energy? Okay. Trials and tribulations for some of you. Number 17 is a number of importance, but here we have the idea of trial separation. What are we like as individuals when we separate? Perhaps you are going through a trial separation with somebody whom you have a pre-existing sexual relationship with. But the idea is trial. And you're both trying to look at something with a certain level of optimism, possibly achievement. Can we get through this? Can we navigate our way through this? And sometimes you do have to separate to understand these things. So some of you might be in a trial separation with someone, like I said, whom you have a pre-existing sexual relationship with. Okay. Things could be on pause, or there could be literal physical distance between you and somebody. We'll take a look. It could mean several things. Let's put down your baseline and get to work. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy, please. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy, please. Show me that Aquarian sexual energy. And now you can all really hear for yourself, do I really talk like that? Is that your real voice? I get that commentary all the time. And the answer is yes. And now perhaps you can really hear it for yourself. This is my natural speaking voice. Yeah, I have mixed reviews on my voice, and it always makes me laugh to this day. It does. No offense taken. I'm a big girl. I'm used to it. Trust me. When you put yourself online or you make a career online, you'll get feedback about yourself, whether you like it or not. And what I hear often is, I love your voice. It's so smoky. It's so deep. It's so relaxing. It's so sexy. Or, I absolutely hate your voice. Apparently, there is no middle ground on the subject. So now we can hear it absolutely without any doubt. This is my voice, yes. All right, what's going on? The Chariot. A Two of Swords. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Ten of Pentacles, the Moon. Okay. There seems to be a lot at stake here, and whatever this is. The Chariot, it's not that you don't feel things. It's not that you don't want movement. You're confused about the movement. Your sexual energy towards whatever this is confused. You want an outcome. I think you both want an outcome. But now that one of you is showing me absolute certainty, I think that's why we opened up immediately with trial. Okay. You have a certain, I want to move forward, Two of Swords. The question is, how, and is it with you? Does my sexual energy, emotional energy too, with the Chariot, does it still point to this dynamic? They're like Ten of Pentacles. I'm here, but the Moon. Let's keep going. The World. The Queen of Wands. Justice. You can't help but contemplate at the energetic level, and then it's also crossing over into the spiritual realm. Is it best fair, the word here, operative word being fair with justice. Is it fair to you and in this dynamic if it was closed? That's something, again, you opened with trial for a reason. I don't think you've concluded anything one way or the other, but it is with you emotionally and spiritually. And those worlds, guys, those doors, they're never casual. Obstacles, Eight of Pentacles, the sense of stability is here. Outcome, the Hermit. Yeah. Healing, trying to understand, walking the path of enlightenment, needing the experience and understanding what experience we already have that's led up to this point to inform us about what to do next. In other words, the question isn't resolved just yet. But yeah, there is a possibility here, realistically speaking, to close out some sort of dynamic where you do express yourself sexually towards it. But reality comes into play and says, hold up, stop. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. Let's see the Chariot and Two of Swords for you. It's the admission of I would like to move us forward, but is there anywhere to move forward to? It's simple. It's very straightforward. The Chariot to the Two of Swords, please. Let's see if I can get any specifics for you. Let's see. That Chariot to the Two of Swords, please. Ace of Swords, your particular master symbol, Judgment, the Hierophant. Yeah, so we are looking at a commitment today, folks, in case there's any confusion about that. Typically, when we say the Hierophant to the Four of Wands, I don't automatically assume marriage or commitment, nor should you. It's a combination of factors that are already started, boom, falling into place like tumbles in a lock. I have the Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Justice. So there's a lot of sense of legality here, commitment, stability. Okay, so we're looking at something that's very much grounded, founded, in play, committed to. The Aquarius I'm looking at knows this. So again, if you're a single Aquarius and you're like, this doesn't help me at all, it might or it might not, okay? You might still see parts of yourself in it, even though the core of it may not relate to you, okay? But yeah, Ace of Swords, your particular master symbol, Judgment, the Hierophant. It's kind of like you're saying, regardless of how I better feel in this dynamic emotionally towards you or sexually towards you and the confusion surrounding it, nevertheless, the Aquarius I'm looking at, you default to commitment. It was my choice to step up to this. It was my choice to commit to this. And that's what you seem to default to very often. In terms of your sexual energy, it kind of says whatever your thoughts are, Aquarius, redirect them to the primary function, commitment. Okay? But I don't know if my sexual energy has anywhere to go with this. I shouldn't have to question that, right? We know that, Aquarius. Go back to point A. We agreed to this commitment. So you keep referring yourself back to the central point. However, emotionally, because the Chariot is water, that was your baseline. No matter emotionally confused you get in terms of, does this dynamic, this relationship, this commitment, does it have anywhere to flow anymore? Does it have any more direction? Does it have any more speed? Does it have any more viability? And that includes your sexual energy. It doesn't seem to have anywhere to go. And should I have to question it? You go back to, you know what? Aquarius, refer to point A. You're in a commitment. It's very blunt. It's to the point. So I know that you are spiritually inclined. In that respect of, these are my obligations. These are my decisions. I made this decision. I have to stick to this decision. You say you know this. You recognize it as absolute truth. So however it is, or wherever it is you question your emotional and sexual energy towards this, you always refer back to point A. And I understand. I saw that something similar to this not too long ago. I can't remember with who. It could have been you. I want to say it was an air sign. And it might have been for the Sunday Shuffle. Could have been an earth sign. I apologize. I don't remember. But yeah, you refer back to the central point regardless. If I feel you and I have emotional and sexual growth at all, I refer back to point A. I know what I signed up for. That's what you're saying. I know what I signed up for. And you're saying your sexual energy, and I agree with you in this respect, is sacred. And it is meant to stay with whom it is you signed up towards. This is what you agreed to. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're satisfied with it. Obviously, if you were satisfied with your emotional and sexual expression, you wouldn't be questioning it. But the idea is that I also understand that my sex is sacred to my commitment. So again, you go back to point A. We'll see if we have more. Okay, we will see if we have more here. I need to see what else you're experiencing. And let's jump on over here for now to see what your person is experiencing. That Ten of Pentacles with the Moon. So they recognize, okay, this person, that the stability is here, the foundation is here, but the emotional and sexual energy is under the Moon. Okay, that's a couple of things. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want to discuss it. There's things that are unknown to me, and I'm not willing to look too far into it. We have whispers of impressions and ideas and feelings, but we don't give it our full weight of attention either. So let's see that Ten of Pentacles with the Moon, please. Show me that Ten of Pentacles with the Moon. The Magician, the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. You know, there are parts of this person's sexuality that they've turned down a great deal. They don't fully address it. There is something here, but the sexual energy that they do manifest with you is a little bit more on the friendly side. In other words, we make it work. So I know that's not the sexiest of translations, but it's also real, it's also honest, and it's also valid. The thing is that it's under the Moon, so they're not aware of it. When they do manifest sexual energy with you, it's kind of like it's cooperative sexual energy. Again, I know that doesn't sound sexy, but it's also real terror is real life. It's not an offense, so don't take it as one. It's not meant to be offensive. It's a realistic look or a picture snapshot of somebody. You, your person, the situation. And that snapshot, again, is either yours or it's not. That's it. So this is coming from a place of, I'm not aware of it. Yes, we have a life together. We have a whole life together. But under the Moon, where this person's emotions and sexual energy hides, they manifest sexual energy with you that says, I need enough to be cooperative. Okay. So again, it's not the most thrilling. And it's not probably the most rewarding or the most in-depth of sexual flavors. But it is established and it's there. It shows up. Okay. And they're saying, I need enough sexual energy with my partner to get by and to feel comfortable with it. Not too much. Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, that's not a lot of sexual energy. It's not frequent, and it may not have the depth that either one of you really wants, but they're saying it's enough. Or they feel it's enough, but again, without addressing it. Okay, so that tells me they don't really check in with you. It kind of goes unspoken, doesn't it? And, you know, that would explain straight away why you're showing me confusion about the direction of your emotional and sexual life with your partner. It would stand to reason. If someone's just kind of mustering up enough energetic strength to have some sort of sexual exchange with you, I could definitely see where you would question about, does this have anywhere to go anymore? It would make sense because you're picking up on it in some way. Obviously, you're not stupid. But whenever you do that, you turn right back around and say, you know what? My sex with this commitment's sacred. Refer back to that point. Okay. So you two have some sort of workable construct in your sexual energies. Okay? We're going to get to that. Trials. Okay? Let's jump in over here to the downline. Let's open up with the World, please. Let's see that World. I can tell that this person has little moments with you. Little moments of sexual engagement. Okay? We're talking, you know, spontaneous moments of affection. And then perhaps what you might call small engagements, such as what you might say is oral sex or, you know, or some very standard appreciation of the sexual act itself. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but they do try. They do try to give something and to mean it and to feel it when they're in the moment. Okay? I will say that for them. It is there. It's just by leaps and bounds, and it's not frequent. I just wish that they would take that out from under the Moon. You know? Okay. Let's take a look at that World, please. Show me the World. Show me the World. Show me the World. Show me that World, please. Show me the World. Show me the World. Now, mind you, that World is next to the Queen of Wands. It does feel like the passion's out or it's on its way out. I know. But the idea is that enough to leave, right? Especially since you have been very studious with one particular point. It's a commitment. This is what I chose. This is what I signed up for. Okay. We shall see. Do keep in mind, tarot doesn't dictate anything. You have free will in all things. 8 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and there it is. It's a relationship energy again. Again, heavy sense of commitment here. I'm going to go ahead and call it marriage for simplicity. It could be, don't get me wrong, it could also be a long-term outstanding contract where you two have created a life together. We're talking, from what I've seen here today, guys, we're talking 7 years and up. Okay? And you're like, this is why sometimes you lean into the world as a possibility, one that you haven't taken entirely seriously yet, but you can kind of feel it pull on you from time to time in terms of that world. You're saying it literally doesn't feel like it used to, nor would it. I mean, that's how you opened up with. It was very honest. Does this emotionality and or sexuality, does it have anywhere to go? Question mark, question mark. Then you go back to the commitment, okay? And I still see you more or less operating under that same method. It's like to close the door on this is to close the door on a connection that looks like it's rich in many ways. It's well established. There are many memories here. There are many a pentacle put down between you and this person. In other words, not casual. This isn't someone you just met a couple weeks ago and you're having this deep inner conflict about. No, no, no. No, we have a whole life with somebody here. And there is a wealth of memories attached to it, but the emotionality is gone or slipping away. So this is kind of what plays into the Aquarius as I'm looking at your idea of the world. Closing this out means to throw out the whole relationship too. And you're showing me time. 6 of Cups is time. Memories of the past. 10 of Pentacles. That's no easily created construct. It takes time to create the 10 of Pentacles. It takes time to create and enjoy and indulge in and participate in that 6 of Cups. It takes time. 4 of Wands relationship. And here's the 8 of Cups. When you reflect upon literally this marriage, this connection, when you reflect upon it, you're saying it literally doesn't feel like it used to. You can't always find your heart in it, and you definitely can't always find your sex in it. But you don't quite know yet. Should you continue to renew that cycle, keep it going? Okay? Do we want to close it out? Because like I said, that seems to be a very critical point for these two I'm looking at, is that 10 of Pentacles, which again, doesn't come cheap. It takes time, blood, sweat, and tears to create that. Okay? I understand. But it's kind of like, and I think the reason, of course, I'm saying it at all is because you're emotionally and sexually dissatisfied. You know? So here you have the richness of a connection, but without the emotional and sexual punch that it used to deliver. Okay. Not all is yet told. I can't quite tell. Neither can you. And I think that's why you're watching today. And that's if you resonate. Let's see that Queen of Wands, please. Let's see that Queen of Wands. Let's take a look at you. Let's see that Queen of Wands. Show me that Queen of Wands. Show me that Queen of Wands. For those who've asked repeatedly, I get that quite a bit actually from Aquarius. Why don't I do singles? It's because not enough people watch singles. That's why. Otherwise, I would. We'll see. If the format changes, I'm doing is going to play out the way I believe it will based on my own particular equations. I might be able to make space for it, but I can tell you right now, singles readings, they typically don't go over very well. Not in my experience. Queen of Wands, Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, the Hermit. So you two are both showing me, again, high levels of you are comfortable with this dynamic in its own way. That neither one of you questions. The connection of in itself is highly developed between you two as an individual. You're used to coming together over and over again for the sake of experience, walking the path. You walk the journey of life together, the both of you. This is established. In terms of that Page of Wands, I can tell that one of you is a little more fiery than the other person. Someone's a little more comfortable with their sexual energy than the other person. This is very clear, but you both treat each other very softly. Neither one of you encroaches your sexual energy too much. I believe it's you that has more than your partner here. I can see where they kind of muster up some really basic sexual connectivity in order to enjoy it with you in some way. But they don't like to think about that. how kind of low vibrational it is, but it's kind of like I'm getting by. And I do believe you have more natural sexual energy than they do. I do, but you keep it turned down on purpose for your partner. But I can tell that you two have walked the path together. You're not unaware of each other. You do try to be respectful of each other's persons and boundaries, as you should be. But I can also tell it's not discussed too much. Okay? There's just enough here to kind of float the both of you by. I think you have a bigger job of feeling your own particular fire or intensity towards your own passion, and that you have the obligation to turn it down. Okay? Make it soft and not demanding. And you kind of seem to go by your person's comfort zone. Okay. You two have worked this out in a particular map or rhythm for a long time. Okay. It's not demanding. It's not in anybody's face, the sexual energy or the promise of or coercion or making the other person feel bad or guilty. It's not like that. It's an unspoken agreement to more or less respect each other's sexual interests. They know that they should be giving you something and they want to, so they summon a little effort from time to time. And you know that even though you feel more and would like more, to not push that on them. So you two kind of have this unspoken dance of your sexual energies and how they play out and how they interact with each other. That took time to develop. The Hermit's not known for being a rushed guy. You two have created, like I said, this particular rhythm over time. And it's actually quite a sweet rhythm. You two have really managed to find a way to work with each other, around each other for years in this commitment. Okay? You always kind of default back to, well, this is my commitment as I understand, and I signed up for it, and they're like, I need to give Aquarius something, and I should, and I want to, just not too much. So again, going back to that world, and I told you not all worlds are guaranteed, I see it from a theoretical viewpoint, and so do you. It's like if I close this out, I know it doesn't feel the same emotionally from the heart, okay, or sexually. But with it goes a wealth of the connection. And I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things you two are going to have to figure out. There is no straightforward solution or answer to that. You know? If your sexual energy is not that big of a deal, and if you two are used to accommodating each other and living around each other like that, then that's something that you two will discover over time. And the subject can be dropped or the tension can be dropped. It'll be resolved. You two have done a pretty good job of resolving those things along the way. But if it's not what you want, and it's not what they want, then that too will come along as knowledge in its own time and in its own way. All right, let's see justice here. Show me justice, show me justice, show me justice, show me justice. I just want what's everybody's best interest. And right now, you're saying you're not convinced that either way is in your best interest. You're leaning more towards staying in than leaning out, let's put it that way. And that's fine. You know, just know that it's right for you. I know a lot of people can get by on saying, well, that's the commitment, that's the way it is. That's usually what perpetuates problems. But for you, I can tell that you actually believe it because you do cherish this connection in many respects. Okay. Two of Swords, the Knights of Wands, the Lovers. That's interesting. You often get confused. It's kind of like saying, what happened to my strong connection? What happened? That's more or less how you opened up. The Two of Swords crossing a very strong feeling. Again, you're just telling me you don't quite know where the love went, and you can't help but wonder if the current situation you're in now with your person, is it fair? You know, is this what should be expected at this point in my life? And at this time in my relationship, is this fair? You think about that a great deal. Is it fair? Was this the natural course? Was it always headed in this direction? If I was in any other relationship, Christina, was it always going to head in this direction? Where the flames would die down and maybe not necessarily be snuffed out, but kind of smothered and reduced. And it's kind of like it's with you spiritually. Is this technically fair in the relationship? Was it always going to balance out this way? Where eventually you're going to turn around, look behind you on that particular path and say, were we always heading this direction? Is it like this for everyone? It's kind of like saying over here, where's the love going? And over here, like, where's that sexual energy going? I used to have such a strong connection. I remember when we would do it 3 or 4 times a day. And now we're lucky to get by in maybe a hand job a couple times a month. I'm just trying to use real language to put it in context for folks. It's not meant to be offensive. If you choose to take it as such, that is a choice. But I prefer real language with people. Just makes things easier. You know, guys, I can tell that once upon a time, you two, when you connected, oh my goodness, did you connect? And you can't, yeah, I mean, again, it's the same reflection, emotionally and sexually. Where did it go? Where did it go? I don't see that part. I don't recognize that part of the connection. We're companionable, highly companionable now, Christine, and we had to work for that piece. And you did. You two have to work for that particular piece. That was done by experience. But the ease of it, the natural ease of the sexual and emotional energy, where did that go? Where did that go? Where did that go? Yeah. Will it ever come back? Or was it always heading this direction? Let's take a look at your 8 of Pentacles. The obstacles is working through this. I know, I can tell that you two are used to working things out to be more compatible with each other, to respect each other's boundaries, and to keep the connection overall moving. The emotional and sexual movement is what kind of lags behind you both. Okay. You question it more, I believe, than they do. They don't like to question it so much. And I do believe you're the one that has a touch more natural passion than they do. Yes. Okay. 8 of Pentacles and the obstacles. Show me that 8 of Pentacles, please, and the obstacles. Making it work. Finding that compromise. The compromise between sexual fulfillment and keeping the connection connected and respectful, you know? Let's see that 8 of Pentacles for the 8 of Pentacles. It's something you both experience. The Knight of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles. I can tell that it's a job sometimes with reduced sexual energy. Someone's having a harder time expressing themselves emotionally. This is very, very normal. When I see things like this, there's typically one person, at least one person, who has more natural passion than the other. But that natural passion is attached to their partner, the way it should be. So when that natural passion is not being satisfied, it's really hard to generate natural heart activity. Some people can separate their heart from their sex. It does happen, and that's unfortunate. But it's kind of like saying, I'm with you and I love you. Isn't that enough? And the person who misses having the natural fire attached to their heart space because they give that assignment to the other person, and now they're only completing half the assignment, but I still love you. It's hard for the person who has more natural passion to believe it because now they don't have that proof of intimacy. Okay? Because natural, healthy, organic sex between 2 outstanding or long-term partners, the idea is that it's a reflection of our heart. I'm touching you because I love you. I'm having sex with you because I love you. It's a bonding element for people who are a little bit more naturally inclined to passion and long-term partners. Not here today, gone tomorrow partners, long-term partners. And like I said, I saw that in you right away. And it's hard. The obstacle here is really hard for someone to continue to find themselves emotionally expressing to this. I love you, I love you, I love you, and then not have the physical energy to back it up. It takes work here to remember love on both sides. But then there's confusion for at least one side, 2 of Pentacles. What does my love mean to you? And expressing it if I can't express it to you in all ways. And I think that's something that you struggle with. You've done a damn good job of constantly finding compromise with your person because you honor the connection for the long term. You made that very clear to me. But it does feel, yes, reasonably speaking, Aquarius, reasonably speaking, it does feel like you're left a little shortchanged. Not by a lot, but a little, yes, absolutely. It does look like you are a little shortchanged. Yeah. So, I mean, again, am I seeing the world for you? Is it a surprise? No. Have you had enough evidence to change anything? No. I think this is something we need to talk about. I can tell that your partner is clearly not comfortable discussing these things. They put whatever sexual identity or sexual expression they have for you under the moon, occasionally manifesting, drawing from it in order to give you something. And not everybody's sexual energy or expression is the same, nor should it be. I feel like because you've done such a damn good job of compromising yourself and the situation to meet both of your needs. And I don't mean compromising yourself in a bad way. There's a bad compromise of the self, and then there's the good kind. You've done a hell of a job creating good compromise for yourself and this person over the years. You don't demand anything. But you're saying it takes work to keep this love alive. I believe you. And that's why I feel like you're being shortchanged a little bit, because I don't think that struggle for you would be there if that person better appreciated how you experience intimacy with them. And not just saying I love you, but actually expressing it physically. Do you see the difference? And that's why I think you've been a little shortchanged here. But I also think this is something that could be addressed, because you both seem to be like open-minded, work hard kind of people. Okay? I typically don't see high levels of compromise and working together like this. This is beautiful. I think with a little conversation about the very thing that makes them a little uncomfortable could go a long way for you both. I really do. Again, I don't find any fault at all. I think it's normal and natural given the situation that sometimes, yeah, the world has crossed your mind sometimes, 100%. But you're like, say, I can't throw away the connection though. There goes the memories, there goes the time, energy and effort. And also I love them. I do. It takes a lot of work for me to find that sometimes and to say it because, hey, one of the ways I have a love language is physical intimacy, and I don't get so much of that. So when you're telling me you have to sometimes work to remember your feelings, I believe you. So yeah, I think a little conversation for you both could go a long way. And they look like they're the compromising type. Now, having said all that, let's take a look at your Hermit here again twice. Some of you might have some very prominent Virgo in your chart, could be connected to Virgo. But that's interesting. You two really have found a way through time to respect each other, to experience each other in the connection, without having sex being the main focal point for either one of you. But yeah, I think you could use a little more back, okay? All right. And I don't mean coercing or trying to force this person to give you more physical intimacy. You should know that's not what I'm saying. Duh. I'm saying talking can go a long way. Okay? And I can tell that they're uncomfortable with it, but it's all the more reason why it should be talked about. If you two are safe and secure with each other, I believe you are, there's no reason why this shouldn't be discussed. Okay? Let's say that Hermit, please. Let's say that Hermit, please, and moving forward. Please don't pull a death on me after everything I just interpreted for you. Although if it's right for you, then it's right for you. I'm not going to dispute that. All right. 8 of Swords, confusion, courage, 30 Cups. Okay, so pretty much what I've been talking about here, you're saying because of the blind spots, 8 of Swords, you do find it difficult to find the strength to connect with this emotionally. I know. I think I did a heck of a job interpreting that for you before I put down those clarifiers. The Hermit, you say to choose to walk this path with your person, and that you would actually like to clear up some of that confusion. Okay, strength to the 3 Cups. You're saying it's going to take strength to take a look at these 8 of Swords, the willful blindness. That's kind of a little bit outstanding, not too much between you and this person, but you want to do it. The idea is like, I have to know that I have canvassed everything, that I have walked the terrain with this person, and I can honestly say we've explored every conceivable subject. Why would this be any different? So I see you taking the same approach that you've had throughout the context of this relationship, and you're going to apply that to your sexual energies in terms of topic of discussion. In other words, what I said. So I do have a roundabout way of explaining things. I'm aware of it. That's the thing about working online. People will let you know what they think of your work. But yeah, the Hermit, 8 of Swords, strength in the 3 Cups. It's going to take strength to address this blind spot. But the idea is 3 Cups. If it provides more emotional enrichment between you two, and sexual enrichment possibly, for the both of you, then the answer is, why not? I've been walking the path with this person this long, and we've come up pretty well. What's this extra layer? And all right, when people are in safe relationship, let me make this clear. You two are in a very safe, comprehensive relationship that I can tell has really spanned some time here. highly compromisable. You two have learned to respect each other's energies and sense of persons for years. That's beautiful. So I know that there's no coercion here. I know that there's no freakouts. There's no temperamental stuff. I can tell that that person's a little shy addressing the obvious about how infrequent their sexual activity is with you, because sometimes they have to, go out of their way to manifest some activity. But it's not exactly the kind that helps you feel like you are developing or continuing to develop your emotional and sexual space with this person. So if you two are safe with each other, as I believe you are, there's no reason, like I said, you can't pull another hermit like you've been doing with this person throughout however long, possibly upwards to a decade or more that you have with this person, and you continue to do the same. It's going to take courage, you say, to address that particular blind spot. You know they're not very comfortable with it, and it might be a point of sensitivity that you've always honored on their behalf. I know they're not comfortable with it. I try not to address it. I think it will help if you do, and I think this is the conclusion you are reaching as well. I do believe that in terms of development, you're the relationship driver here. In terms of expression, you allow this person to take the lead and not push their boundaries. So you two do have a back and forth dynamic that looks healthy. And a healthy connection does ask you to raise, not fall, or push each other apart. A healthy connection, I don't care if it's slow. As long as it goes like this, it's good. Support beams hold each other up, okay? And when something is terribly, terribly wrong, you start to separate, or you tear each other down, and that's no good. So here we have what looks like, if a trial, I would add the word temporary to it. It may not be temporary separation. It might be that you two are currently under a particular emotional or sexual trial or a strain. It doesn't look like it's too heavy to me, but that really comes down to you as an individual Aquarius. And then also, realistically, given that the world is here, it was contemplative, not in actuality, not that I saw. It might be that given the results of this conversation and possibly temporary trial for improvement, you might know what to do from there. Okay? I don't see it that way. I see this as a temporary trial that's hard on you both to kind of talk about this, to work through it, and see if some good can come out of it, as you two have been doing. That's how I'm seeing that trial. Okay. I can see where that would come in. That trial, we often associate that word with separation. That might be a proposal as well, as a conversation between you two. I'm not sure. But I see this situation as a temporary trial in terms of upcoming conversation and then action points that should follow it, hopefully, that are positive. Okay? All right. Okay. Overthinking. Overplaying negative scenarios over and over again in our head. And beware of codependency. So that's not an absolute about codependency. I didn't see any markers of that, but some of you might be fearful that you were in a codependent situation. I don't know. This looks like a pretty healthy distribution of energies. I think we might be overthinking the situation just a little bit. Okay, about what codependency is. What I'm seeing is a healthy relationship of back and forth balanced energies that really want to compromise with each other more so at the end of the day than anything else. Codependency says you would have to compromise yourself in negative ways in order to support something that's not healthy. Okay? What we want is healthy dependency. I need you, you need me, but in the healthy right ways, not codependencies. It's a forced sense of I need you in order to justify or continue to justify my existence, and I will tell myself whatever I need to hold on to that. That's not good. I think we're overthinking here. Okay, Aquarius and overthinking. That means for some of you, Aquarius might be your south node, by the way. All signs have pros and cons. Just be aware of what your south node is, okay? And also moon, Aquarius moon, okay? Overthinking. What does this mean? Am I wrong? Am I freaking out? Am I thinking of this in all the worst possible ways? Nah. I think some of you might have a tendency to do that, but that's not how you really approach this relationship, and I don't think your person has either. I think it's something that's in the back of your mind and spirit, and I think if we address this, like I said, towards the end, You have the strength to address these blind spots with the Eight of Swords, and I think a lot of things will help be resolved there. In other words, at least help you feel like there is more of an emotionally constructive effort between you and this person. Okay? And that's what we want. That's what I want for you. If it's right and healthy for you, that's what I'm going to encourage. If it's not healthy for you, guess what I'm not going to encourage, right? I want what's right for you. That's it. Okay? All right. Let's pull a couple of these. Just a couple. Okay, we have the medallion of Taurus. You might have some very strong Taurus in your chart, or you could be connecting to one. And we also have the letter N. Okay. Okay, you guys. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.